Now, a Scottish festival director has been telling Drive Time about his plans to create a fringe event in Ukraine after meeting a Kiev-based theatre group who perform in a bomb shelter. Here's a quick taste of their work.
1939, World War II begins. The German invasion of Poland has begun.
Well, that's a clip of the ProEnghish Theatre group with their production, The Book of Sirens, which is set in World War II. Steve Gove, who's originally from Montrose, currently runs the Prague Fringe festival and brought the group over to take part. Now he wants to set up a festival in Ukraine. Earlier, I spoke to Steve and leader of the theatre group, Alex Borovanesky. I started by asking Steve why he invited the company to get involved in his festival.
Well, the funny thing is they kind of invited themselves. About 2 months before the festival, I got an email through saying, hey, we're a theatre company from Kyiv. We do English language theatre. You do English language theatre in Prague. Is there a spot available at your festival? And I said, no, but yes, you're coming. So we squeezed them in. I mean, the programme was completely full. We were about to go on sale, so it was very late in the programming process. But of course, the answer was yes, without any question of a doubt. We just wanted this company. I didn't even know at that point what the show was, to be fair. But we said, let's do it, you're coming. And that's just kind of how it started, really.
Alex, tell us about your play.
Yeah, this is a performance called The Book of Sirens. And the fun part about it, well, not so much fun part, we built it in March when Kiev was almost encircled by Russian forces. And my actors and myself, we lived in the premises of our theater because the theater is located in a basement. So being here, we got nothing else in mind than to create a performance that recreates the experience of living in a bomb shelter for Ukrainians and for little German town of 1943. Because this is the plot of a story. It happens in Germany of 1943. It doesn't happen in Ukraine, although it looks very similar. So that's the show that unites two wars, two generations, and two different towns. But it's pretty much the same reaction.
It must have been very emotional, not just for you and the theatre group, but also for those who came to see it.
I would give it to Steve. He was there at the third performance. We actually performed 4 times. He made us perform 4 times at Prague Fringe, and he was at the third. So I guess, Steve, what do you think? Was it emotional?
Well, it was incredibly emotional. And I mean, not just the content of the play, which was emotional enough in itself, but the background to the story, which you very clearly explained to the audience before the play started, that you were creating this in your theatre, which was, or still is, a bomb shelter. It was an incredibly emotive experience. And the fact that you also journeyed for 30 or 40 hours, however long it was, by train from Kyiv to get to the festival, having got to know you online over 2 months. I mean, personally, for me, it was incredibly emotional, and it was for the audience as well, of course. It was a very intimate theatre, only seated 30 people, and you could just sense the reaction in the room as the story unfolded. And as I say, not just the story, which in itself, it was not connected to the invasion of Ukraine, would already be emotional enough. But the fact that it was, and the fact that the guys travelled all the way through from Kyiv by train, it was incredibly emotional to watch it unfold.
And Steve, the connections that you made with Alex and his theatre group are going to continue, and you're looking at setting something up in Ukraine now. Tell us about those plans.
Well, pretty soon after meeting Alex online, I said, look, there are no fringes in Ukraine at all. Would it work? Should we do something about that? And he immediately just went, oh my God, yeah, of course, this is perfect. And, you know, we've done the Fringe here in Prague for 21 years. And I just thought, you know, who knows how long this is going to go on? Hopefully it's going to end as soon as possible. But the point was, from my perspective, it was a statement of bringing not just European but world art to Ukraine as a sort of celebration of the winning of this awful invasion, and through an artistic form, kind of in a way that happened in Edinburgh back in 1947 at the end of the war. the festival in Edinburgh was set up as a way to reunite Europe, which was a beautiful concept. And I thought about Edinburgh and those connections and shared those ideas with Alex. And of course, he jumped straight on it. But Alex has a festival of his own, which has been running for 5 years already, of English language theatre. So he thought at that point that perhaps it might be an idea to rebrand it, the festival, and proceed as a fringe. So together we're going to build that going forward.
And Alex, how important is it, do you think, that there is this movement from the arts community, if you like, in Ukraine while the war is happening?
I think it's tremendously important. I guess Churchill said, what are we fighting for if there is no art? And that's what we're doing. Right now, for us, being a theatre in English and festival in English, it gives the opportunity to speak to the world directly through the language they understand. And not just tell the world about the atrocities and horror that's happening in Ukraine, but touch the world with the thing that they cannot resist, touch them emotionally, touch them through theatre. And this allows us to speak after Ukraine wins, to continue talking about the new Ukraine, the new generation, and the new image of a new country that managed to fight this northern bear, so to say, and we can do it through stories. This ability to create different stories and speak to I've seen it at Prague Fringe. People come from different countries and they bring different stories, but all of them appealed to me personally. I understood each and every one of them. So that's what we're doing with Ukrainian theatre right now.
And Alex, just describe to us, if you would, what it's like just now that you're back, what morale is like, what is the environment's like for you? Right
now, as you know, like a couple of days ago, Russia did a massive strike on all big Ukrainian cities, Kiev involved. And my actors had to go back to the premises of theatre, which is the bomb shelter and basement, as you remember. We spent a couple nights there. So it's back again to this feeling of March. But the difference is there is no more fear. That time we had a lot of fear. Me personally, we had a lot of things. But now it's not fear. It's like steady determination, I can say, and a lot of humor. We make a lot of jokes on the stupid, rusty Russian missiles and stupid, rusty Russian heads. A lot of humor is coming into Ukrainian minds, a lot. And there's determination to win, no matter what.
That was Alex Borowensky from the ProEnghish Theatre group in Kyiv, and Steve Gove, who is the festival programmer for the Prague Fringe Festival.